Sunday fun day. Let's get after it. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake, back with another NFL Prize Picks video. We got week 3 here. Some injury information that we can go over a little bit that makes me really like a play here. If you don't have that Prize Picks account, though, and you want to join, use that promo code CashCake and get 100% instant deposit match up to $100. A link is in the description below. Hey, got 3 plays for you here. 2 that correlate. 1 I think is going to smash. Let's get after it. All right, Prize Picks desktop is up here. I got 3 plays for you. 2 that correlate pretty well together that I do like. Should be in a good game script. Been playing them the first 2 weeks. Been doing really well for the one guy. And then we'll talk about the other. Dove into his stats a little bit. And I kind of like him. And I got him, I think he's really going to be good throughout the whole season. But I like what I saw last week out of him. First guy we're going to talk about, though, one that I've been riding the first 2 weeks, and it hasn't caught up to him. We're going to go CJ Stroud here. 34 pass attempts. They're going to be in a game script against Jacksonville. They're dogs here. They're going to continue to throw the ball. We've seen it against Baltimore and Indy here, 44, 47 times. Just going to continue to sling the rock. As long as they're in this type of game script, I'm going to continue to play this. I mean, 34.5 is just too low, especially when they've shown they're going to continue to throw the ball. See what they got out of the kid. Jacksonville should be up pretty early in this game. Again, they're going to struggle all year. This is probably going to be one of my favorite plays until it starts getting up to like 38.5, 39.5. Then I might slow down a little bit and not play it so heavily. But anytime we're going to get it something around 34.5, I just feel like this is just way too low for him. And it's something that I think you should look at attacking here. Anytime they're in a game script like this, which probably is going to be most of the year. So I like going over this 34.5 pass attempts for CJ Stroud. The one that are going to correlate a little bit here, I looked at Nico Collins a little bit, but I think what I'm going to go is Tank Dell here, honestly. And I do like his 35.5 receiving yards. And if we look at Tank Dell, did fine week 1, but week 2 against Indy here is where, I think he's going to start coming into his own. He actually ran the second most routes on the team behind Robert Woods. Woods ran 48 routes. Tank Dell ran 45. Nico Collins ran 40. And Nico's probably the most polished receiver as of now. I mean, Robert Woods is kind of, past his prime here. But Tank Dell, I love it. Ran 14 routes, 14 in the slot, which I like. Robert Woods ran 32 in the slot. His ADOT was 9.2 last week, so I think it's going to be pretty safe. If they can get him in the slot a little bit, couple catches, 35.5 is pretty low here. Had 10 targets, led the team last week with 10 targets. Both Robert Woods and Nico Collins had 9 each. But again, caught 7 balls for 72 yards and a touchdown. And again, I think he's only going to continue to get better here as that rapport builds with CJ Stroud here. So, I really like this play. Again, as long as we're getting this game script, and I really like Tank Dell sitting in the slot there. Again, ran 30% of his routes in the slot, which I do like. And I think we can just kind of pair these up, and they kind of match really well with one another. And if you wanted to go Nico Collins, I'm perfectly fine with that as well. I mean, last week he caught 7 for 146 and a touchdown. So I'm fine with either one of them. Kind of look at Nico's doing here. He's sitting at 54.5. Again, game script wise, you kind of love it. So I don't mind that at 54.5 reception yards, or if you want to look at even targets, I think he's going to continue to get peppered with targets. Like you said, there had 9 last week. And if we go back to week 1, he had 11. So I think we're going to see targets, close to that. So I don't mind if you want to double stack here and even put Nico Collins in this. I don't really want to play Robert Woods, but Tank Dell and Collins should be around. And I think those are the guys that I really like, but we're going to go Dell with this one. And then the one play that I do like here, talk about injury consideration a little bit. Waddle is going to be out. So that's going to open up things for Tyreek Hill in this offense of Miami. And there's actually 2 plays that I like here. And why not? Let's talk about both of them, because I do like both of them. If you want to throw them both up there, just pick the one. But Tyreek Hill, I think you can play this a bunch of different ways, right? I love the targets at 9.5. I think this is way too low. I talked a little bit last week inside our Discord that New England would probably try to shut him down. That's just what Belichick does. And, only the 9 targets there. But before that, play, 15. Tyreek Hill's talked about how he wants to have a monster season. Well, this is a great bounce back spot for him. 9.5 targets is just way too low without Waddle. He should see 10 plus easily here. So I love that. Receptions at 7. Again, don't mind this at all. They get him in space. They get him the ball. So 7, I don't mind that. I might even prefer targets over receptions. I do like him. And then fantasy score, 18.5. Perfectly fine going here. I mean, he almost got there against New England, even when they were, scheming to try to slow him down a little bit. So I don't mind taking a look at Tyreek Hill here. At all at 18.5 fantasy points. But I think receptions is probably my favorite. I mean, targets is probably my favorite at 9.5. But again, I'll probably be mixing and matching a lot of these with fantasy score, receptions, and targets. I really like looking at that right there. And then the one we'll talk about here where it's just kind of crazy if we kind of look at the, what he's been doing a little bit for this team. And again, without Waddle, we got to see where, maybe some more, targets might go and whatnot on the Miami side. And I think one guy that we can kind of look at here that, kind of gets overlooked is Durham Smythe here. So 27.5 reception yards. He's on the field a ton, ran 32 routes last week, which you like to see. I mean, shoot, Tyreek Hill only ran 31. So he's out there an absolute ton. Actually ran 22 in the slot, which you like to see. So 27.5. I mean, with Jalen Waddle out, we could see some more volume here. Caught 3 balls for 23 yards last week. But again, if you take Waddle out of there, they still have, River Craycraft and, Braxton Berrios. Man, he's still around. So they still have some other guys, but I just like, what they do with him, especially putting him in the slot, I think helps a ton. And 27.5 feels a little low. You can actually get it at 25.5 at some of the other spots here. So I don't mind taking him. So this is the 4 plays that we're kind of looking at. I've dropped a ton of plays within our Discord here. If you want access to that, you can go over and sign up at our site at dailyedgesports.com and check us out. You can even get a free month. And we got all the tools. If you're looking at for plus EV tools, projection EV tools, which is basically plus EV, as we add on top of it our custom projection set. So you can get all this as well as slips that I drop and everything else. So if you want access to those things, more picks that we've dropped. I probably dropped around 20 to 25 picks this morning across the whole slate today. Jump on in and join us, man. It was a fun run yesterday. Had some decent lines with college football. Could have been a better day overall, but hit quite a few of the 2 and 3 mans, which helped out, but didn't grab me a 5-man yesterday. But should be a fun week 3. Join us. Like always, see you guys on the flip side. Deuces.